I meant to come storming in like that, play around a little bit, because we have a PX4 Storm. Yes, you requested it. I found one. Okay, pretty neat little gun. You know what? I didn't use the sights on any of that, just playing around. That's bad, isn't it? I have 2 magazines, so I'm going to load them while you're taking a look at it. And tell you what we have here. Oh, by the way, this is Hickok 45. I bet you didn't know that, did you? And it is a PX4 Storm. It is an interesting little gun. I've not shot it much at all, a mag or 2. And I'm going to give you my impressions of it, my first impressions of actually trying to hit something with it. And we'll take it from there. Now all I have is 115 grain ammo, which I hate. I'm lax again on my hand loads because I load 147, and I don't have any of those. So we're shooting some UMC 115 grain ammo. I get a different point of impact with that. It shoots lower, which I hate. I like a little bit of a 6 o'clock hold. So I'll make that disclaimer before I even start to hold the sights up higher than I like. But 2 mags. And I noticed right away it does not use the same magazines that the 92 FS uses. And I was sorry to learn that. I really hadn't even thought about it in the shop when I was trading. I got to looking at the mag actually on the way home, and it occurred to me, hey, oh yeah, cool, I've got lots of magazines that'll fit this gun, no doubt, because that looks like the 92 magazine. As you look at it, doesn't it? It pretty much looks like standard mag we've seen thousands of probably since the mid 80s when that gun was adopted, or before, by the military. But it's really not the same, so just a little clue there. It just looks the same. Holds 17 rounds. Holds a lot of rounds. Let's put another one in that one. Got my little loader. I don't normally use that, but this one is really a nice loader. I like it. And these magazines are kind of stiff, and it's a little quicker there, I noticed. Okay, so got those loaded, and turn it over there. You can take a look at both sides. All right, my initial impressions, I've not done much with it. We're going to shoot a little bit here, but is that it's a pretty cool little gun. I'll have to say I've been so far pleasantly surprised in the feel of it and its operation. It is, let me get the negative out of the way, it's that double action trigger, which I don't like as well as the striker fired gun. So you know, you get tired hearing me remind you of that, don't you? But I just don't, you know, I don't shoot it as well, whether it's a SIG or an H&K or the Beretta. You know, those are all very, very similar in terms of having a double action trigger and hammer. But again, largely though, in defense of those guns, my huge hand is part of that problem, you know, because it doesn't break until you get that trigger way back, you know, so that's part of that issue. In fact, I noticed with this gun, I just changed out the back strap. One of the features is it has replaceable back strap. So I got to looking at that, and I thought, you know what, that might help a little. So I put the larger one on, and it actually adds, you can see the seam there, it adds a little bit of meat up there. Not much, but it doesn't take much to make a difference. And I can tell the difference. It feels a little better as a double action. That helped. If I could bring that out about another 1/8 of an inch, it would feel even better. And you know, I guess I could do that with some, I don't know, what they call Bondo or something. But that helped. So just as a point there, if you have one of these and you've not replaced any of the back straps, you know, that really did help. And I guess that's the largest one. It's the only one that actually extends up to there. Okay, what about this thing? Well, you know, what you've got here is a lot of the same type things as you have with the 92. You have the double action, that's the big thing, of course. And you have the slide mounted safety decocker. You know, it serves both purposes. If it's down, it's safe, it's not going to pull, and there's fire. All right, then if you have it cocked and you want to decock it, bring that down and decock safely. I know that scares people, some people who've never used a gun like this, maybe even a SIG does, to have a gun cocked. There could be a round in the chamber right now, and you're perfectly fine to decock it. That's what it's for. Okay, that's one of the features there, so you can carry it like that, and you're never having to mess with the trigger and all that. For that purpose, it has 3-dot sights. You notice the barrel looks a little odd there. We'll take it apart. It has a rotating barrel there, the way it locks in and out, is kind of interesting. That's different from the Beretta 92 FS that I have. And what else on the outside of the gun here? You have an ambidextrous mag release that can be reversed if you're a lefty. There's a little bit of an extended, larger, oversized slide stopper lock there. I don't know that I like that. I generally like the minimal amount of meat on those. I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to that. As you know, the Glock is minimal, and I like that. But that, and then what else? We have a pretty nice little grip. It's very ergonomic, I'll have to say. It fits the hand beautifully. But then again, just because a gun feels good doesn't mean when you start shooting it that it's right for you. You know, lots of things do all this contouring so they feel good when you pick them up, whether it's a Dremel tool or anything else. In lots of cases, I just soon have it round, you know, like a hammer handle, broom handle. You know, I'll adjust to it, you know. Sometimes you get a hold of something. I think probably you folks that use tools, they know what I'm talking about. The Dremel, in fact, I bought recently is like that. It's all contoured, so it feels perfect. You know, instead of the older one I had, it was just kind of round. Pick it up any way you want and go to work with it. But anyway, I digress. But just because it feels great doesn't mean that you shoot it the best. Could mean that. Let's break it down. Now this is different in that you don't have to like really Glock, you know, get the slide back a little bit to take pressure off of this or anything. All you do is pull down the little lever there, the lock, and it just comes off. That's it. I mean, it's very, very simple. And notice this little gizmo, how it locks here. This little block back here. And the recoil spring fits into that. And you notice the bottom is a little wedge there that fits right in that little groove on the barrel. So it's not a problem really to line up. I've had to turn the barrel a couple times, but it's not a problem. It fits right in there. And the barrel comes out, of course. You know, you just have to make sure you get back in there correctly. You know, with the loading ramp on the barrel, and that little groove's going to be on the bottom. So that's what turns it, you know, as it indexes there. So other than that, it's pretty typical. Okay, so sticking back in there, and put the mainspring or the recoil spring back in. There. And I did notice you have to make sure that's lined up. It's not hitting on anything when you're putting it back together, but it's a pretty simple operation. And the gun is very light. I think 27 ounces, just a tad over 27 ounces. It feels very light. Has a rail. This one's a 9mm. I chose a 9mm because I think that probably covers more ground. Most of you are familiar with 9, and a lot of you like the 9. You have the 9. I like the 9 myself, and it's just a good all-around cartridge. You know, it would make a nice NATO round, wouldn't it? But pretty good little gun. Let's shoot it a little more here. Quit yakking. Now again, I got to figure out where to hold, but we'll do that. Because now I'm going to use the sights. I was just kind of shooting from instinct there, playing around, and got carried away. All right. Wouldn't know how to act if it weren't hot and humid. So safety is on. It's off now. Let's put it back on. Rack around in. Okay. Won't fire. Trigger won't do anything. It'll pull, but it won't do anything. If we take the safety off, it will. So first round will be double action. And let's see if we can hit anything. And before we do that, let me put the safety back on and put it in my holster, because I just got a little fog up action here. I don't want to have any more excuses than necessary. I can make all those up I want. I can fabricate excuses, but when I get my glasses fogged up, that's a real one. I need to get some of that stuff on them that now we're in the rainy season that helps prevent that. Okay. Notice that fine holster. I picked that thing up actually for the Beretta 92 FS, to tell you the truth. It's just one of those things, it's a paddle holster that anything will slip into, mainly for just around the range. But I really don't like it that much. The gun kind of, you know, dangles. It's out there like that. It's, really like it. Okay, now let's try a couple shots. Let's try the challenge target. Actually, I'm going to cock it for that because I've got the 6-inch plate on there, and that's a little more precise. Yeehaw! All right, we have the 6-inch plate and the higher 2x4. You notice it goes on over a little bit further. Also notice I'm hitting at the bottom and I'm holding up. Yeah, barely catching it. There we go. That's how that thing works, see? Pretty neat. You can set it for any caliber you want to. Has an 8-inch plate and a 6-inch plate there. Okay, let's move on now. I think I want some orange soda. I finally got it. Okay. Okay, settle down now. A little trouble with him, didn't I? Alright. Yeah, I got to hold up high. Now I'm not sure what I think I had a windage issue with the sodas there, but so got to practice with a little bit, and I'll do that before we do another video with it. Figure out where to hold and try to get some 147 grain ammo. But this is ammo. It shoots straight. It's just not what I'm used to. Now I don't know. I might discover with this gun that even the heavier bullets tend to print lower. And for me, at least, I'm just speaking for me. I would rather a gun shoot high if it's going to err on one side or the other, and than to shoot low. I don't know. I guess I'm used to, like, the old Colts, and lots of different guns do that, depending on your ammo. It's just, I don't know, more of a challenge for me to hit with it. But by and large, this gun is pretty cool. I see why so many people have been requesting the PX4 and the CX4, which is a subcompact version of this gun. It's kind of a weird looking little gun, but I chose to start with the mid-size, this size gun. Figured that more people would, you know, be interested in the regular size gun. I know I'm biased. I like those little baby guns. So let's try again here. We'll see if we can get that gong. See where we have to hold to hit that thing. Okay. Holding on the top of it, I believe, does the job there. Now these little 115 grainers probably won't knock much over. Let me see if I can scare that pig at least. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to aim over the top a little bit, which I don't like to do, but not bad though. You know what this gun reminds me of? I'll load up one more time here. This gun reminds me of another gun I shot recently. You probably already know what I'm going to say, don't you? It reminds me a little bit of the P30, the H&K P30, I do believe. Not have to have it in my hand to do a real comparison. I might take those words back if I had it here, but it does bring that one to mind. Pretty nice trigger in single action. When you get to single action mode, can't complain a bit. And actually the double action is not that bad. There we go. This is a nifty little loader, isn't it? I see why people like these. I appreciate the fellow sending me this thing again. too dumb to buy one, you know, just because I had a mental block against all these loaders, so I just never did really pick one up. But this does the job. I've never had trouble loading with, you know, I guess I've got loader's thumb over the decades of doing it. I don't have much trouble. Sometimes though, when they're stiff, they can be a little bit of a problem, and this thing really does the job. Makes it easier. So anyway, let's take these, shoot these babies. Put this in my bag here and have a little fun. I'm gonna go double action to start with. See if I can hit anything. All right, one more mag. Hey, where'd that mag come from? Extra mag, huh? And look, I have 2 more magazines. All right, let's try to shoot some more. Let's go double action on the first shot here. All right, maybe I'll get used to this gun. Yeah, we're trying to save you a little gabbing by getting some of that loading done off camera, you know. We had a little gnome do some of that. So, PX4 Storm. I almost forgot what it was called. Duh. After all that storming in I did earlier in the video, right? I have no major complaints about this gun, other than, yeah, you know me, I like that index or the striker fire trigger a little bit better. But it's a pretty neat little gun, and I see why so many people have been wanting me to shoot the thing, see what I think about it. I kind of like it so far. So this is my gun. I purchased it, traded for it. I traded the SIG for it. Sorry, SIG folks. But we need to move on and let you get a look at something different that you've been asking to look at. And you know, that's one of the neat things about doing this. I get to shoot a lot of different guns, and I enjoy doing it. Kind of get a feel for them, so I know what people are talking about when they talk about these firearms. So pretty cool little Beretta. I like it at this point, and we'll shoot it some more. Life is good.